Hello and welcome to Thoughtful Little Time Bombs. My name is Will, and if you are returning, I'm deeply grateful to you for your continued investment of your very valuable time. And if this is your first visit, then you're most welcome. And I hope you'll remain intrigued enough to stay until the end and maybe return in the future and even have a look at videos I've made in the past. Thoughtful Little Time Bombs, quite simply, is I throw ideas at you, whether you want them or not. If you hang around, then they will be thrown at you, hurled at you. They may make sense to you now and may help you may take action on pursuing dreams or ambitions that you have, or they will go off later, hence the little time bomb thing, when you need them. Your unconscious has this habit of, unless you use things, it puts them to one side on a shelf. And then at an appropriate time, if it feels it's an appropriate time, then they are brought again to the surface as an option. We have many options in our lives. We know what they are. It's just that we've placed them on the back burner and they are there if we need them. And the unconscious has this tendency of wanting to be the watcher within, and it wants you to be happy because it makes its life less difficult. So, without further ado, let's get on with it. Hi again. Um, this week I want to talk about the my room. I got a room which is a real room, and then it's also a room I take around with me, which is a daft notion. And it's not a caravan at all, it's not a camionette, it is just a room I take around with me in its different forms. It is where I turn dreams, ambitions, hopes, I turn them into something workable, achievable. It's in that room, which is over there. I have an elevator table. It's from IKEA in Morrington. I mean, other IKEAs are available. And it's an elevator table where I can stand. I don't sit to work, I stand for most of the time. So I can tap and I can write from that height. It's where I go to when I have interesting ideas to see if they are viable as real ideas, to create a platform for them to be realized. And it's where I also switch off from the world. I find that maybe it's me being awkward. I need to withdraw from the world if I'm ever going to focus, to concentrate on whatever idea I'm working on. So I've got to move from dreams to imagination to fact. You can dream it, which can be daft, but you need to be able to imagine yourself doing it, and then you need to find a means of making it real. And that takes discipline. But it takes discipline in the form of habit. And that's a very useful thing to remember, because discipline scares people. Discipline means, oh God, it's going to be painful. The room is a structure where I develop my ideas. It can be, God knows where the idea comes from. It can be while I'm running, walking. It can be in a conversation. It can be listening to, I listen to dramas. I love listening to dramas. I shut my eyes off at the end of the day, and I just, that's it. I nurture myself and I nurture my ideas in the office. And it's all based on good practice. It is all based on having a routine. And the routine is quite straightforward. It's the idea, what becomes a dream, starts elsewhere and it comes to fruition while I'm working on it. It's quite straightforward. The process by which I do it is now central to my daily life, and I do it in a place where I'm safe from distraction. That is important. Even though push comes to shove, I can work in a very noisy environment as long as that environment does not have a pattern to it. I remember years ago, I used to travel down to London every now and then alone, and I just do what I just go where I wanted to go, and I'd usually end the afternoon in a pub, and it's a market pub, I think. It's called the Orange, and it's in Pimlico. And I just have a pint, and I'd have a book. I remember the best one was when I had a book. I think it was Laurie Lee, and an English author, Cider with Rosie. Have a look at it. It's wonderful. It's wonderfully well written, warmly well written. And I was I saw it in the shop. I bought it and I went into a pub late afternoon. I knew I'd be moving soon to get the train, and it was a noisy pub. It became noisier because people were leaving the offices and they're coming in their suits and, sort of banter, and they'd be talking across and be just noisy, sort of inconsistent kind of noise. And I found that I could focus entirely on what I was doing. I didn't hear them. I had my pint of Pimlico Porter, I think it was, very light beer but very tasty, and I miss it. And I'd look every now and then, the glass would be empty, and I get up, I pick it up, and I go to the bar to get my second pint. That would be it, to be off after that. But as I woke up, I woke up to the burble and the conversation and the chatting and the noise in the pub. Get my pint, sit down, and it would diminish. It's something I can do. It's taken me ages to do it. It's a natural skill I have, if it's a skill. Being able to focus on other things while havoc is reigning around you. My room where that happens is powered by desperation, by fear, by purpose, and by resolution. Desperation is because I'm getting older. I want to do things, and it's thing. I think every video I made, I put that in. Desperation to get things done, to achieve. I did my duty, and I don't mean that in a cold manner. I looked after people who are unwell. I saw them through the last illnesses. Sometimes, one of them took a long time, and I didn't step away. Just impossible to do. So time was precious to me. Time with them was precious, and I realised that I may have missed out, if you're going to think in objective, selfish terms. I missed out on opportunities to do things. I don't regret it. Never regret it. It was a privilege to look after them. So desperation is not having enough time to do what I want to do, and that makes me fearful. But that gives me the ambition, the dream gives me purpose, which is fueled by fear and desperation, and an attitude that I'm resolution, I'm resolved to make it happen. And the purpose is what gets me up in the morning quite early, like I'm learning a language. I get up 2 days a week. I get up at 6:15 in order to prepare for a lecture tutorial at 8 till 9. I do it. It's exhausting. I'm not very good at resting. I'm really not. But the process is sustained by habituation, which is created because of discipline and the desperate need to do it. It's like learning French. And I was talking a while back, and I said, the desperate need to share an intelligent point of view in another language helps you desperately to find the words, find the expression to do it, because somebody has said something that intrigues you and you have to respond, and you will find the words. You can't go directly, so you go indirectly. And I find that wonderful. So it's sustained by simple habituation, and what that means is something we talked about before, which is I go from intention to work, which is I get up at 6 o'clock roughly, and kettle goes on. I'm like a zombie. But by the time it gets to 6:15, 6:20, let's be honest, I have a cup of tea, hot cup of tea, I have my notes, and I'll start reading them. I'll start reading, I'll start working. But I'm not doing that. I'll get up at 7, and it's the same thing. There is a purpose getting up. And I have a habit now of going from intention to work to actually working and doing it in a very brief period of time. It doesn't happen tomorrow. It doesn't happen, I'll do it later. It happens now. I know that fear and desperation and purpose and resolution make sure that I turn up. And sometimes I can pick up and I go just like that. And other times it is a slow slog. But you know you're doing well when you don't realise the time has passed, because you're working so hard and you've got into a zone of working, which I'll get to in a moment, where time passes. You step outside of time, and like you do in meditation. If you've meditated well, if you've transcended, then you can't, time has passed, and you have this pleasant feeling to you. So the energy is variable because, I'm not very good at resting. And it's not tension because of work, it's just I'm not very good at it. I should practice resting. And I'm sure somebody will tell you that's a good idea. It's a very good idea, you should do that. So I work hard. I work incredibly hard because I want to. And I have found means where I'm in the room with the desk, the laptop, the index cards, the iPad, my little phone, and I've got a little picture. It's an ideogram. It's a Japanese ideogram, and I call it ideogram. I think that's what they're called. And it's translated underneath as yume, and yume means dream. I understand what it says on it. And I've had that for, that must be 40 years. And I don't see it. But if I'm moving things around the table, I make sure always make sure it's got a place where it's close to me. Because I can remember the specific context, a very warm, engaging context when it was given to me. And therefore it's precious for that reason, because it was pleasurable. And also because it was given out, could have been any of them. These things were being handed out by a master. And I got the one dream, which I love, because dreams, you pursue them. So I've got desk index card, I've got favourite biros, which are big and the clear plastic ones, an iPad, basic stuff you would have. And mental tools are, I have a safe in here, and I have a safe outside. The safe outside is an index card, which, with one word, a very brief phrase that encapsulates what the dream is, what the ambition is. Nobody else, people can look at that one. I've had people in here and I turned out that they were data miners. They're narcissistic and they're data miners, and it doesn't matter what was on, they would spot it, they would look at it. So they could look at this and they would have no meaning unless they give it a meaning themselves. They wouldn't know what meaning it had for me. And another place I keep it, the other storage I have, filing cabinet, is in my head, is in the unconscious, where it's deep storage. I don't even know that ideas have gone that far. All I know is that occasionally they come back because something I'm doing now triggers them. And that is something that happens regularly. It's not something that is weird. The unconscious works for your advantage, and I think you need to have confidence in it. Desk is the action point, and in order to have that action point work, I need to be isolated. I've done it for years. I found out that I'm not alone. I don't get lonely. And it's not through ending up not feeling lonely. It's just I don't. What I need to keep me company is work that is important to me. That's it. If it's important to me, it's enough. I've got my bed over there, which I sort of have a relationship with. I used to go to bed in the afternoons because I was so tired, and I'd sleep for an hour. I'd rest and sleep for across a period of an hour, and I'd wake up and I feel yuck in my stomach. I now do it for 45 minutes and I feel rested. So if that extra 15 minutes does damage, whereas the 45 minutes gives me benefits. So little tricks like that. I've done my duties. I now dedicate myself to me, as my friends need me, my family need me, I'm there for them. But outside of crisis happening elsewhere, to other people who are important to me, then I dedicate myself completely to myself. And that's not selfish in an indulgent sort of way. It is indulgent, but it's not in an indulgence kind of hedonistic kind of way. It's indulgence in that time is so important, and I'm going to bloody well hang on to it. And if I have to give time to you, it's because I love you and you're in trouble. That's it. Outside of that, leave me alone. And the thing is, I live in a place where it's difficult to get to, and people will phone up to say, are you there? Can I come over for a cup of coffee? Something to talk to you about. And that, from where they are, it gives me time to park in a lay-by in a car park, what I'm doing. I can prepare for their arrival, and then when they've gone, I just take the little car or whatever it is, caravan out of the car park, and I get going again, get into the focus zone. No, if I'm busy, nobody gets into that room. If I know everybody's fine and somebody else turns up, they do not, they're lucky if they get access to my house, let alone the room. It is precious. And people I know respect it. They don't know what I'm doing, but they know I'm doing something. And that's enough. That's enough for them to respect it. And you know, those are the kind of people you want. They're not nosy. They're not data mining. They're not looking for information on you with as a form of control, coercive control. You know, nobody gets into your head unless you want them to. You have control. It doesn't feel like it. I spoke last time about the stupid zone. Stupid zone is when I go in and I choose to be ignorant of anything that goes on around me, even though I can switch out of it. But I choose, it's a decision that when I act with intention, when I intend to do something and I act on it, I engage with the stupid zone where I ignore anything that goes on around me. Unless it is something important, shocking or whatever, an event happens. When I'm able, then it's like a meditative state. It's not meditation, but it's meditative state-ish as a way of describing it, in that I can engage with the work to such depth that I don't notice that time passes. I regard this as being in stasis. Stasis, if you know your science fiction, is when you're traveling to another planet, what they do is they put you in a tank. It's like they're doing Aliens with the lovely Sigourney Weaver. And you go to sleep, and they reduce your heart rate, they reduce your blood pressure, they reduce the use on your any strain on your organs, and you sleep. And time passes, and then you wake up and you're on another planet, and the aliens are attacking you. You know, I don't go through that bit. I'm not that paranoid yet. Probably will be one day. So I go into stasis where I don't realise time is passing. All I know is what's in front of me. I'm not aware of myself physically unless I'm moving. You know, I'm only aware of the work I'm doing. It's meditation. It's in stasis. I'm outside society. I'm outside of time, objective time. I'm in my own kind of subjective time. I can't even explain that one to you. All I know is if you've done meditation, time passes and you get a sense of euphoria, and it's simple. It's similar to that. That's what hard work is. I must also tell you that sometimes when I approach the desk, the action point to engage with the process of turning a dream into an interesting idea, into an objective fact, it's a struggle. It is a struggle. But if I don't do it, I'll feel a sense of loss. I feel an embarrassment. I feel a sense of disappointment in myself. And I think I'm my own worst critic. I think we all are, as I mentioned in a minute. We are our own worst critics. So I do it. It doesn't matter how crappy I feel. Like with the French, learning, practicing French at 6:15 in the morning, 6:20 in the morning is a bloody struggle. Sometimes it feels, that feeling here where you just feel, I don't want to do it, but you do it. And you eventually just disappear into the task. It happens, and just through discipline in the past, sheer habituation, fear, desperation, purpose and resolution, you're in there. But it's hard work, and you have to get into it. You have to do it regularly. And I've said in the past, in order to get a good habit up and running, you've got to do it more than 20 times. 23 times was the figure I was actually given by my brother, who spoke to a psychiatrist as part of his retirement process. In the stupid zone, when I'm in there, it's like being outside. It is exactly the same. You're not exempt. It's just that you have an attitude, you have a filter around you. But in the stupid zone, I surround it with a force field. I'm getting really weird here. It's surrounded by a force field. I need to do this because possibly other people have this, or maybe I'm an exception, is that traumatic events from the past, they're emotional, sometimes I don't know why, they're pre-symbolic or or I haven't got a clue why, and will get attacked by sharp objects, sharp memories, traumatic memories that can, if it's happening outside of the room, it can shake me. It can physically shake me. It can shock me. It doesn't happen often, but it happens. And if you've got anything like that, or any kind of, you're worried about your mental state, depression, is it hopelessness, helplessness, or you suffer from traumatic events in the past and they manifest now, go and see a GP. Counselling works. It releases you to get on with the rest of your life. Okay? so please, switch off now and go and phone if it is an issue for you. I've surrounded myself with a force field. And it's a simple force field, and it's thick. It's about that thick, I think. I've just decided, that it's that thick. Because it's thick, so you can't get through it. But things do get through it. And if you've done your Dune, Frank Herbert Dune, and like me, years and years ago, read the books again and again and again. Duncan and Ido is my hero. Anyway, so there is everybody is fighting with swords and stuff. They have a shield, and the shield is, if you strike it quickly, nothing happens, you bounce. But if you go through it slowly, you will go through, and you can injure somebody. But imagine fighting somebody and going slowly all of a sudden. So it calls for an incredible skill, which is why I love the books. But I haven't seen the new film at all, and I understand it's fantastic. Anyway, I haven't got a television, got it years ago because I didn't need it, didn't watch it. Where was I going? Yeah, so what happens, and this is a skill I've picked up, it's self-generated, probably won't work for anybody else, it's just me, I'm weird. But the trauma can even attack me when I'm in the stupid zone and I'm ignorant of everything else. So I've got this force field I created all around me. But as soon as anything comes into it, I'm aware of it. And this is the best way I can describe it without really describing it. I look at an object, and let's say that's the sharp object, the attack, the trauma coming towards me, this thing that will distress me. And what I do, I know it's coming, and this is the skill I've learned, and as I said, I'm weird, so it's probably nobody else in the entire universe does this. I just withdraw my focus, and it's the intellectual, the focus, mental focus. I withdraw it to about halfway. And that's where, if this trauma is coming at me, I'm aware it's there, but I withdraw my focus, and it's like being in a dream state. I know it's there. I'm looking at something in the corner now. It's the hub, a broad internet hub. I can see the colour, but I'm not focusing on it. I'm focusing halfway between, on nothing. I do it for a short while. It blunts the sharpness, and it diminishes, and it goes away. It literally does go away. And now I think I do it without even thinking. I'm aware of it, so yeah, boom. It's like boxes, automatic muscle memory, I think it is. It's not muscle memory. But occasionally things do get through. Things do get through, and they just totally knock me for six. It's an emotion, and I do get emotional. I do get... yeah, so it's habit again, and anything self-limiting, self-damaging, they just do not get through. They get through to a degree, and then I blunt them, and then I get disinterested and bored with them, and they fade away. These things don't want attention. If you give attention to these traumatic memories, the self-limiting, self-damaging thing, you are giving them strength, and they'll come back at you because they like you, because you give them strength. You encourage them because you invite them back. I don't. I've had enough. I travel with the room. It's a big bag, you might think, because it's a decent-sized kitchen, which is the room, which is the desk, which is everything on it. I travel with the room. However, it's a reduced room. The reduced room it's a biro, my favourite biro, which is a Bic, and it's a clear Bic. And index card or a little notebook. And the stupid zone I take with me, the force field I take around with me. Everything I need, which is in my mind, which is having an idea and then spending time working on it, I can do anywhere. I can do it absolutely anywhere. It's a skill developed now. And if the trauma hits me, I can also cope with that, because when I touch the desk, when I take the pads out, the notebook, or when I take the biro out of my pocket, I'm in the zone. I'm in the stupid zone where things switch off unless there's an emergency, to say. Um, I go into the zone, but I still live in the real world. Something happens, I'm there. It's not wibbly wobbly. It's based on hard work and discipline. Earlier on, it's not discipline now. It's just habit now. Discipline is uncomfortable. It means you've got to do it. You've got to do it. I moved beyond that ages ago. I've been through it in order to get to the habits, in order to get to the state of mind where I'm in a safe place to work. But because I'm in the place to work, I have to work. This is all based on hard work. It's the norm. Sometimes I have background music just in case I come to the surface. The reason I come to the surface generally is to put the kettle on when I'm working. But I can do this for hours. But I don't do it for a great many hours because I don't want to get sick of it. And I have other projects. So once I've reached the end of, let's say, about 3 hours, 4 hours maybe, that's it. I'm gone. It's finished for the day. And I make sure I got somewhere else to go tomorrow before I get up, generally about 7, but twice a week at 6:15, and make a coffee, make a tea, never coffee. I don't drink coffee till an hour and a half after I get up, because it damages it stops it physiologically stops you waking up. And then when the coffee's worn off, the caffeine's worn off about halfway through the afternoon, then the chemicals of waking up, which still involve sleep, they begin once again, and you just enter into a slump. So I don't do that. That's the reason I drink tea first thing in the morning. The desperation, fear, purpose, and resolution, they're enough. And I've created this place, staff place where I work. And imagine, and I just finish off with this, there are people who go home after work, their families, wife or husband, whatever the relationship is, we have children, and they find time in their day. Let's say they get up at 6 and everybody else gets up at 8, or 5:30 and everybody gets up at 7. In those 2 hours, and maybe in the evening, the children have gone to bed, and the person that their person, I don't like that, the boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever it is, a wife, husband, partner, they just let them go and do their work. However, so you got maybe you might have 3.5 hours a day. That's during the week, weekends, family time. So you probably get very little time. Maybe you just edit then. But they get up. They do 2 hours in the morning and they do an hour and a half in the evening, shall we say, for example. Time is so precious for them that they have to engage with the writing almost immediately. They have to come in at a high level. And Hemingway's to finish his day with somewhere to go the next. So these people up and running, and the skill and the determination and the purpose, and maybe it's the fear as well, fear of being nothing, maybe fear of not achieving. But they do this themselves. You probably do this as well. Maybe you haven't realized it. Maybe you need to refine it. But they get into that stupid zone where everything other than sounds of distress in the family, other than that, nothing distresses them or disturbs them, and they can work solidly for the hour, 2 hours, hour and a half in the evening, whatever. It's not an impossible skill to learn. In fact, it's not very difficult at all to learn. Discipline is a tool that is not punishment, because if you want to do it, you'll find a means to do it, and discipline is as good a way as any to develop a habit. So, right, I was supposed to be brief, but like usual, I just can't get them brief. Yeah, design your room and see how small you can get your room so you can go anywhere. Develop privacy even when you're amongst people. Develop a private zone that you can exist in noisy places. Maybe you need noisy places as like a mantra to help you study, to develop. That's it. Just moithering over silliness. Maybe there's something in there that help you, if not now, then in a future date, or it'll help you plan how you work. I hope there was something in there very useful to you. If there was, then if you would care to like, maybe share with somebody that might be useful to them, and subscribe, and then hit the notification bell so you know when I'll let you know when we've got another video coming up. So subscribe, like and share, and I thank you so very much for turning up, and I wish you so much good fortune and love and luck and peace and quiet and just a good idea to work on. And I wish you well with your dreams. Take care.